Every evening at exactly 8 p.m., the dining table in the Rao family's house looked complete. Four plates, hot food, four family members sitting together, and absolute silence. Not because they were angry, not because they hated each other, but because everyone was busy with their phones. Rajesh, the father, worked for a private company. Even during dinner, office mails and calls never stopped. His wife Suma was also a working woman. After managing office work, house chores, cooking, and deadlines, she spent most of her time replying to work messages or scrolling through her phone to escape stress. Their teenage son Arjun was addicted to reels and online games. And little Meera, the youngest in the family, spent her evenings watching cartoons on a tablet. Every day looked the same. Pass the curry, Rajesh would say without lifting his eyes from the phone. Hmm, Suma replied while typing a message. Arjun laughed at something on his screen with earphones plugged in. Meera quietly ate her food alone. The television stayed on, phone stayed on, but conversations had disappeared. The house was full of people, yet somehow felt empty. One evening, Meera came running from her room holding a drawing sheet excitedly. Mom, Dad, look what I drew in school. Rajesh was attending an office call. Suma was replying to a client message. Very nice. Dear, I'll see you later, Suma said absent-mindedly. Meera's smile slowly faded. She quietly folded the paper and walked back. A little later, Arjun entered the hall excitedly. Dad, I got selected for the district cricket team. Good. Rajesh replied automatically while staring at his laptop screen. That single word hurt more than scolding. Arjun nodded silently and walked away. That night, the family again sat together at the dining table, close enough to touch, too far away to connect. A few days later, heavy rain hit the town. Thunder echoed loudly outside. Winds rattled the windows. And suddenly, a power cut. The entire house went dark. Seriously? Arjun groaned. My meeting was about to start, Rajesh complained. The Wi Fi stopped, Suma sighed tiredly. Within minutes, everyone became restless. Phone batteries were low. Internet was gone. No television. No laptops. No entertainment. Peak. For the first time in years, they had nothing to distract themselves. Little Meera lit a candle and sat quietly near the dining table. Then she looked at everyone and asked softly, Can we spend time together today? Nobody answered immediately. The question itself felt strange. Didn't spend time together? As a family? They didn't even remember the last time they'd done that. Meera suddenly ran into her room and returned with an old cardboard box. Inside were Ludo boards, playing cards, chess pieces, and photo albums covered in dust. Rajesh looked surprised. We still have these? Meera nodded excitedly. Slowly, unwillingly, they began playing. At first, it felt awkward. Very awkward. Nobody knew what to talk about anymore. But little by little, the silence began breaking. Arjun laughed when his father lost at Ludo. Suma teased Rajesh for cheating. Meera clapped loudly whenever she won. And after a long time, laughter echoed through the house again. Real laughter. Not emojis. Not forwarded videos. Real happiness. As the rain continued outside, the family sat together under candlelight. Then Meera suddenly asked, Dad, what did you do for fun when you were young without phones? Rajesh smiled for the first time that day. And slowly, he began talking about playing cricket on empty roads, flying kites with friends, climbing mango trees, writing letters instead of sending texts. Everyone listened carefully. Then Suma shared stories about her school days and how she once dreamed of becoming a singer before life became busy. Arjun quietly opened up about the pressure he felt from studies and competition. For the first time, his parents actually listened. Then little Meera looked at everyone innocently and said, Today feels like we became a family again. The room suddenly fell silent. But this silence felt different, heavy, emotional. Rajesh slowly looked around the room. His family had always been beside him, But somewhere between office work, stress, and mobile screens, he had stopped seeing them. Suma's eyes became moist. Even Arshan lowered his head quietly. That one sentence from Mira hit harder than anything else. Around midnight, the electricity finally returned. Lights came back. Wi-Fi restarted. Phones buzzed continuously with notifications. But nobody touched them. For the first time in years, they didn't want to. The next evening, something new appeared on the dining table. A small basket. Before sitting down, Rajesh placed his phone inside it. Then Suma smiled and placed hers too, tied up. Arjun removed his earphones and dropped his phone inside. Finally, Meera happily placed her tablet into the basket. Rajesh looked at everyone and smiled softly. From today, 1 hour every night belongs only to this family. And slowly, their house changed. Dinner became louder. Stories became longer. Laughter became common again. Not because electricity went away for one night, but because they finally understood something important. Technology can connect phones across the world, but only conversations can connect hearts inside a home.